Activate again.
Hurt.
Nope, we good.
That's it. My leg hurt.
That's how you sound?
Yeah, we got Nemo's talking about Boy Carpentano.
Pablo and David Price.
Yeah. You got something? You got a note? Great. Most Sports Talk. MostSportsTalk.com is the website. These sons of bitches over at TNT decided to talk basketball for one whole hour. So look, while you're watching them clowns clown themselves, put the TV on mute, continue to listen to the after party. We will get you right to the Mike Breen. Matter of fact, I think we'll be in the car by the time the Mike Breen begins. So we appreciate you for tuning in. All right. Fight. Let's get this boxing out the way first. Vasily Lomachenko scores a 10th round knockout of Jorge Linares for the WBA lightweight title. I'm glad that Oscar De La Hoya was in the audience so he could relive the moment he took his own liver shot from the great Bernard Hopkins. A perfectly placed body shot to the right side of Jorge Linares, puts him down, bends him over, and puts him out. Now, Vasily Lomachenko has now become the fastest fighter to win belts at 3 different weight classes. This was now won at the 130 range. I thought that this was by far his biggest test as a fighter. Linares was the bigger fighter. He was the stronger fighter and actually put Lomachenko down on his kickster in the 6th round with a straight right, caught Lomachenko flat-footed. Lomachenko jumped back up. It wasn't really nothing that hurt him or, kept him from doing what he had to do. And he got the victory. I thought his movement was great. I did think that the concerns about him facing bigger guys is a legitimate concern, okay? He might have stretched himself. I'm sorry, he went to 135, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, my bad. Now he has titles at 125, 130, and 135. So I thought that moving up to 135 would provide an obstacle for his strength. It did not necessarily deter his movement because he still moved in the very Matrix-like way that the media likes to kick down. So, and his skill won out ultimately because that was a perfectly placed shot. And the thing about boxing is almost like pitching. You got to change speed. You got to change eye angle, okay? And I love boxers. Errol Spence comes to mind, who love to do the face-body face combos or the body-face-body combos because you got to work both. Lomachenko's dad, who was in his corner, urged him later in the fight to go for the body, and that set up that bloody left eye that Linares suffered. Now a message for the haters before I go to Chris. I know y'all hadn't heard of Lomachenko until about maybe a year and a half ago, okay? He has over 396 amateur fights. He is considered by far the greatest amateur fighter ever. So he's sort of new to the scene. He's already 30 years old, okay? Stop trying to worry about what's next and enjoy the greatness that was in your face right now. Because as soon as the boxing fight was over, is that boxing going on? Is that redundant boxing fight? Like saying hamburger meat, right? Yeah. As soon as the fight was over, all the text came up, but he can't touch Mikey. Okay, maybe not. We don't even know yet. So I just do find it interesting that boxers who fans aren't necessarily big fans of is always finding the next dude to kick his ass instead of just saying, yo, he did a pretty damn good job tonight. I'm sure Mikey Garcia will come calling. I don't know if I'm Lomachenko, I would want to move up to 140, okay? It's going to start sapping at my speed. And as Chris said, some hard hitters up in 140, namely Mikey Garcia. Chris, what did you think about Lomachenko Saturday night? And what do you think about what is next for Vasily Lomachenko?
Well, he's an old fighter, like you said. I think that we need to give him credit. I think the issue with people is that he's only had like 13 or 14 professional fights. And they think it's unfair because the guys that have been battle tested had to wait until they won 30 fights to even get a legitimate shot. And so that may be one angle to take. He's impressive. I think his trajectory on punches, his ability to fake out opponents, discourage opponents. That's his number one thing. He embarrasses opponents. Look what he did to Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux was embarrassed. He made Rigondeaux quit. Rigondeaux was a hell of a fighter. Rigondeaux looked like he shouldn't even been in the ring with that guy. So I think that that's one thing. He's gonna be that one guy. He's like the Conor McGregor of that during Conor McGregor's time. There's nobody there, man. He's fighting everybody. What can you do? He was great. He's great at what he does. I mean, it's gonna take somebody that has a hard enough punch to hit him and hurt him. He took Linares' punch, but that was more of a flash knockout more than just an actual knockout. You gotta hope that somebody like Tank moves up and fights him. Tank will have to gain the weight to fight him another 10 pounds. That's what you hope. Because other than that, he's just going to dominate his divisions. He got in that 135 division just in time before Bud Crawford left. Because he knows. And his people know that too. So credit to him. I still got him as one of the 5 best boxers in boxing. I don't have him number 1 for obvious reasons because I feel like, you know, we hadn't really seen, and I don't want to use the competition because he's beat everybody he's been faced to, but in terms of like guys who have fought people, I'm looking at guys like Errol Spence, you know, I'm looking at David Benavidez,
I think that's too heavy for like tell
well, no, I mean for as like just like ranking wise, it's hard to rank him. It's hard to rank him with those guys because that division may be one of the weak. We talk about the heavyweight division being weak, but that 130 to 125, 120 range is pretty weak. You got Javante and a couple other guys, but there's no like, because when Chocolatito went down, that was it. Now you do have Sora Visse in that 110 and 115. He's talking about going to 120, but he would have to take a massive gain weight to fight him. They would have to do catch weight, which is not going to happen. So I'm impressed. I think he's a hell of a fighter. I don't know why people hate him, but I think it has a lot to do with nationality. Because the thing is this, he does what Floyd and Roy Jones Jr. did, the flashy kind, and we accept it because of what he was for us, his ethnicity. With Lomachenko, he's not a black guy. And I think that a lot of times we look at it as like, and he's still in style. And I think he does a lot of things, not saying better than Floyd, but I can debate about his footwork versus a lot of great fighters. He has impressive footwork. If you watch him move, he shuffles when he walks. He literally parkour. So
he looked like a parkour dude.
So think about parkour. So you know you gotta do. He's across everything.
2-1-4.
So he does everything. So his training is good. And I'll tell you one thing that I look at. You can tell a great fighter about one thing. Look at their legs. He has massive like his legs are huge. For a guy that small, he has huge legs. So credit given. I think one thing we need to give him credit for, he does have a chin, and he has knockout power. That was the only knock on him from everybody. He don't knock out anybody. He just embarrasses them. He knocked out a big dude, and Linares is no chump for anybody out there that want to know. He knocked out some people during this time, and he took that shot, and it looked like that was it. And I can only think of maybe 2 shots in the body that were that hard. That will be De La Hoya and also word to the homie Virgil Hill.
Oh man, like those that are taking liver shots, I'm sure the flashback game is real. And I saw De La Hoya. He was like 3rd row. Like, yeah, bro. I'm sure that he had a Bernard Hopkins flashback. Thank you very much, Chris. On to, you want to do Bellator first?
Yeah,
let's get Bellator out the way. Look, Bellator had an event. King Mo, we'll get you out here. The amount of time it took you to walk from the stage to the cage, your ass was done.
At least he made it to the cage.
Matter of fact, you let who's he fighting again? Whoever it was, they kicked your ass into another weight division. No, that's Paul Daly. We're talking about who knocked out King Mo.
King Mo. Oh, man, I forgot. Yeah. It was,
if somebody knocked out King Mo in the heavyweight, was it Matt Mitrione? Okay, somebody knocked out King Mo and knocked him out so bad in 15 seconds that he immediately after the fight announced, "I'm moving to middleweight." Okay,
he put him true.
Sure, yeah, but Mike True moved down. He moved weights.
Nah,
he moved out of the league.
All right. Also, Paul Daly.
Ryan Bader, that's what
Ryan Bader.
Yeah.
Ryan Bader.
In 15 seconds.
This is the heavyweight Grand Prix. So basically, Bellator took a bunch of old, washed-up UFC heavyweights, made a tournament, okay? Your final 4 is now Chael Sonnen against Fedor and Matt Mitrione against Ryan Bader.
Yeah. I'm assuming Ryan Bader is going to win since he's the youngest for the most part.
And he is 35 years old?
Yeah.
He's the youngest.
He's the youngest.
Fedor in 2018 could have a belt in MMA. Okay. Also on this fight, as we aforementioned, 40-year-old John Fitch was beating Paul Daly so bad in a non-Paul Daly fight, because it was a takedown fight, that he started yelling at John McCarthy.
In the middle of the fight, bro.
Now, I've seen fighters on top of an opponent, beating them down,
Right.
you know, maybe talking to John Anderson, I want my title shot, but not somebody that's taking blows to the head, yelling at John McCarthy. Move, take it away, please.
So basically, John Fitch. All right, so just a little quick backstory, real quick. For all of y'all that don't know, Paul Daly, former UFC fighter, is in Bellator, and basically I stopped taking him seriously when he told Michael Venom Page, "We can fight, but no takedowns."
Oh yeah.
So basically, what happened? John Fitch took him down, started complaining to John McCarthy while he's being grabbed and held on the ground. This matchmaking was some BS. Basically, the whole time he was complaining that he was going up against somebody that wrestles. It's MMA, bro. If that's the case, you know, Bellator got the little kickboxing, what's the name, too. So you can do that. So basically, King Mo, Paul Daly, all y'all go away together. Oh, yeah, Dave. Your boy Chet Congo got a knockout victory in 2018.
Damn.
Yeah.
Still active.
Still active. They keep giving him checks.
All right.
He is still on main cards.
UFC 224 was also on the same night, a very Brazilian heavy card. And let's start out with a couple of Brazilian legends, one being kicked into retirement, and that would be Vitor Belfort. Now, Vitor Belfort goes so far back in the UFC that if you see old clips of his like first 3 fights, he's got boots on. He's got wrestling shoes on. So that tells you how far back he goes. He's probably fighting some fat dude in a kimono.
He was in front of. He was on the cover of the Dreamcast game.
Say
Show
no
yeah,
more.
It was.
Dreamcast.
Just kicking.
Back when apartments offered up hotel cake. All right. So in this fight, Lyoto Machida kicked him into retirement, basically. I mean, Vitor Belfort has been around for 20 years. I saw in a post-fight column that the next opponent for Lyoto Machida could be David Branch. Am I getting my weight classes confused?
Nah,
here?
that's the right. Yeah.
Okay.
David Branch moved weight class. Yeah.
All right, Moo. What do you think about that? Go ahead and get into Raquel Pennington, Jacare, whoever else you want to name in this UFC 224 recap.
Well, firstly, I don't have no issue with him, you know what I'm saying, fighting David Branch. As we all know, Lyoto Machida, with one of the most beautiful front kicks I've ever seen in my life. First of all, he's 40 years old and still out there giving highlights. But I mean, to be honest with you, even before this fight, we was both like either him or Vitor, this should be y'all last fight. Now, Lyoto called out Michael Bisping, but after what Kelvin did to him, I don't know if Michael Bisping going to be taking any more fights anytime soon. But, I mean, fantastic fight, you know what I'm saying? The first round was kind of slow, but, you know, the second round. And this is the thing that with Lyoto Machida that people forget. The way he set up this front kick was he was leaning with his lead leg, but he kicked him with his back leg. So, like, his back leg just kind of snapped. Yeah, like, when you watch it, you'll see what I'm saying. But, like, yeah, he was leading, like, you know, he had his front lead leg out, but he snapped with that rear leg, and then, bow, Vitor was out. Before I get to Nunes, I do want to give props to John Lineker, though. Fellow Brazilian, you know what I'm saying? Beat up another Brazilian. But he's 6-1 since dropping 135. I think his last loss was to TJ Dillashaw, if I'm not mistaken. He looks good, man. And to be honest with you, know who I want to see him fight? I want to see him fight your boy Dominic Cruz. Now look, you know Dominic Cruz, he ain't fought in like a year and a half. They got a broken arm or something like that. But I think John Lineker and Dominic Cruz would be a nice
That was also
fight.
recommended on the ESPN.com column that I
That'd
read.
be a
Very
nice
good.
fight. So, co-main event, Kelvin Gastelum versus the great Jacare. Kelvin Gastelum ends up winning in a split decision. To be honest with you, this fight could have went either way. It was kind of a real close fight. I'll give Kelvin Gastelum a lot of props, dog, because Jacare was taking him to the octagon a lot, but Kelvin Gastelum, he held on. He did what he had to do. He was throwing punches. And to be honest with you, I feel like this is Kelvin Gastelum's biggest victory. Now, I know he did just recently knock out Michael Bisping, but him beating Jacare basically puts him in line for the next title fight. So whoever wins out of Robert Whittaker and Yoel Romero, that's who Kelvin Gastelum should fight. You know what I'm saying? since he done moved to middleweight, you know what I'm saying, his weight has been, you know, he ain't had no weight issues, no suspension issues as well. And he's gotten a whole lot better. So, you know, props to Kevin Gastelum, like I said, no matter who he fight, Robert Whittaker or Yoel Romero, it's going to be fantastic. All right, so the main event, which is what, look, long story short, as far as the fight goes, man, Nunes is an assassin.
My Lord have mercy.
The first leg kick that she threw knocked Raquel Pennington off of her feet to her knees, bro.
It's almost like when we used to walk behind our homeboys and kick the bottom of their feet as they was walking. It's boom, you just lost all of it, bro.
And it was at that moment that I kind of already knew how the fight was going to go. But, I mean, I will say this about Raquel Pennington. Now, I did say this would be like Amanda Nunes, baby. Now, I did say a 4th round knockout. Technically, I was kind of right.
It should have been.
It should have been a 4th round knockout.
I was calling for it.
Raquel was calling for it himself. But, you know what I'm saying? Amanda Nunes ends up retaining the title in 5th round TKO victory. And now, it was impressive. Impressive fight, impressive victory. Yeah, he told her corner, I want to be done. Basically, at the time he hit Man Hearns, hit Martin, and he was just like, I don't want to fight no more. That's basically what Raquel Pennington did. And you can I said that in the video, you can blatantly hear her say, I want to be done. Corner was basically like, nah, son. Sent back after her. And when I say Amanda Nunes, bruh, the accuracy and precision of Amanda Nunes is what makes her so doubt. Every knee that she hit, on point. Every Muay Thai dirty knee, and that's actually what broke Raquel Pennington nose over, like a knee. And then she hit her with 2 more accurate knees right after that. And we get to the 5th round, leg kick. Beat your ass on the ground, your nose explode, referee probably like, all right, stop. Now, this is kind of something that we've always been talking about when it comes to like fighter safety and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now granted, fighters is gonna fight. You can't tell them no. But when your fighter, as a coach, if your fighter basically comes up to you and be like, nah, I'm good. And you see that she is getting her butt whooped. And she tells you good, I feel like you should have just hit her with the eye, cool, throw in the towel. Now, they was talking about, yeah, we were trying to get trying to inspire her. It ain't finna be no Rocky moments against Amanda Nunes, bruh. You blatantly lose in the first 4. You lost every round decisively. You had a few counter punches that made it look good, but for the most part, your fighter's getting her butt whooped, bruh. So it wasn't gonna be no Rocky situation. Like, she was hitting some punches, and Amanda Nunes was laughing.
Could be Mick.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But basically, that's what I seen from that, because I was seeing like highlights of that. Like, hey man, she's barely saying, hey, I'm good, I'm done. I mean, I don't know what kind of like pride you had as a trainer or something like that, but you can't do that with your fighter, dude.
Has there been anybody that defended Raquel Pennington's corner? I have not seen anywhere that said.
Torres actually did.
Okay, what did she say?
She actually said she didn't have no problem with the corner sending them back after. Which is kind of, but that's coming from a fighter though. But it's also kind of weird considering that was your girl that was in there getting her ass beat at the corners. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a slippery slope.
So I got a question for you then. You know, since you're a UFC guy, because a lot of times when I see these fights, I see guys getting knocked to the ground, or ladies getting knocked to the ground, and they're getting pounded on, all of a sudden the ref stops the fight. They're over there complaining like, why did you stop it? Because what if that happens? Because then, I didn't mean to cut you out. But I get exactly what you're saying. Because that happens. But you rarely hear a fighter tell their corner, I want to be done. So let me ask you a question then. How does that work? So say for instance, 4th round ends, here comes the 5th round, she says, I'm done. She says it loud enough. Does the referee say it's over? Now, but also it's up to the corners, and it's also up to the inspectors that's in the ring, you know what I'm saying, like the doctors and stuff, like, viewing to also, like, take responsibility. So, yes, it's a corner foul, but it's also some of, like, the inspectors in the ring, you know what I'm saying, that views the fighter, so, because they really also have the, the power to, like, veto the fight. Now, I'm pretty sure if one of them would have heard her say that, they would have been like, well, Clay Davis, because in boxing, we've seen this before. Like Rigodo or just guys in general,
Lamont Peterson.
Lamont Peterson did.
He gave him a warning. I don't like what I'm saying.
So
No, he said, you know you got knocked out. No, I didn't. Okay, the fight's over.
No, we don't. No, we're good.
He said, you know what round it is when he say Dave? 6? Bro.
No. So do this real hard? No.
Look, we just talked about Lomachenko. Rigondeaux did not come out to answer the bell. Like, no, I'm good.
We did.
And you would think that, the corner and the fighter would be aligned. I don't know. I wonder what the corner was seeing or what they didn't see. And why wouldn't they trust their fighter when they said she was done? It's not like there was any indication throughout the fight that she was going to touch Nunes or even make Nunes, think about going forward with any of her moves.
Well, I will say this, like, she, it was some moments to where, she was tagging Nunes, but like you said, Dave, like every time she hit Nunes, she kind of like just smiled and just kept, just kept running through it.
Also, strategically, I guess that makes a point because then I've seen UFC fights before where the guy is dazed and all of a sudden one shot, he hits that one shot where he's there. But I mean, in this case, obviously the way you described this fight, she got clobbered. Maybe like one of the fights that we've had on UFC where just had no chance.
Look, Dave, she threw a leg kick as a fake. As soon as Raquel Pennington weaved the leg kick, she hit her with 2 right jabs back to back, and then stepped back and hit her with a leg kick again. So there was no way, shape, or form. Even old Rocky fight Tommy Morrison in Rocky 5, it wasn't even gonna be Rocky versus Antonio Tarver in Rocky Balboa. Like there was nothing. There was nothing that showed that you should have sent her back after. And like I said, you know what I'm saying? I get that Tisha Torres agrees with it and everything like that.
She's
but yeah, exactly. Like you gotta protect fighters from themselves. We say this all the time. And like I said, like when you watch it and you see Amanda Nunes punched on the ground, her nose just bursted open, bruh. Like it was blood everywhere. I thought it was hilarious. But it was crazy. So I mean, I blame the corners, I blame, you know what I'm saying, the officials, I blame the inspectors, I blame all of y'all to take blame. But in no way, shape, or form to take away from the fact that Amanda Nunes, you need to just go ahead and fight Cyborg next and just get this over with. Because both of y'all basically just dominated y'all divisions. I credit Cyborg for wanting to like build the division up, but build them up to beat them down. So, you know what I'm saying? So
Thanos.
Yeah, basically, just snap the finger and everybody vanished. So, yeah.
All right. So real quick postscript on this. I quote Raquel Pennington on the MMA Hour. She says, I know a lot of people are going against what they said and thinking all this different stuff. And it's easy to judge, but you never know what's happening in that moment. At the end of the day, my coaches know me best and they know my toughness. They know what I can handle, and I trust my coaches with everything that I have, that they wouldn't put me in a situation I couldn't handle.
But it showed you couldn't handle that one.
But her nose is not broken, allegedly. But she is seeking medical attention for her left leg that was broken in an ATV accident last year. And she says she felt as if Nunes re-broke it with a kick early in
the first round. Yeah, first round.
This reminds me of Emmitt Smith when he got shoulder when he broke his.
This ain't about me, it's about his kids' soccer practice. When Roy Williams knocked his shoulder off down there. And Dave, real quick, and Rocky Balboa, want to know what Tarver's name was?
It better be the Magic Man, like his real life nickname.
No, Mason the Lion Dixon.
Yep.
Like the Mason Dixon Lion? Where was he born?
And the movie was born in Mississippi.
Say no more. All right, on to some baseball. We will go around the horn. The fellas got a couple of baseball observations. Guess who has the best record in the National League after a victory over the Cubs today? The Cobb County Braves, baby. And they got a new young lefty that the old Dave's going to keep his eye on.
They got a nice little batter up there, too.
That's what I'm talking about. Tied with Bryce Harper for home runs in the National League, Oscar Albies, boys and girls. Check that young man out. He was one hit away from the triple in a very windy day at the Wrigley Field. Your Atlanta Braves, y'all.
19-year-old.
Led by 19 and 20-year-olds. And, of course, the steady veteran, Freddie Freeman, all access for the current Braves first baseman. Do you know who played third base for the Braves today? Moulton Brothers.
I do.
Chris knows. Guess who played third base today?
I'll give you guys a clue.
No, don't give no clue.
I'm not going to give him that clue. He has a nice beard.
That's a good clue. Guess who played third base today?
Joe Budden.
For the Atlanta Braves.
For the Atlanta Braves.
Yes.
Joe Budden. Joe Budden-esque beard. He's not very light. by Clips.
Oh, Batista?
Yes.
Yeah, get up to Batista.
They did pick him up.
Yeah, he plays third base now.
That's right. They did pick him up, Mook.
Joey Bats, your Braves third baseman, y'all.
Yeah.
Chris, baseball note before we get to BMO.
Okay, so just real quick, you guys have pretty much been watching the New York Yankees on a tear. Now they did send down Drury. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Okay,
somewhere.
all right,
they
Adam
sent
Drury.
So they sent him down. And they replaced him with a youngin. And yeah,
Keep going,
I'm
keep
gonna
going.
keep going because I think it's something really bad.
Let me
man.
leave.
And I'm on that note, yeah, I'm gonna
Just-
keep going.
just-
yeah,
go,
because
stay focused, stay
okay,
focused.
okay.
Man.
So just real quick, anybody want to take a guess who pitched 4 scoreless innings and they win for the Cincinnati Reds? I think you know.
I do know.
And don't they lead the division, by the way?
The Reds, no.
No,
They're horrible.
But the team that he played for does lead that division. But there was a pitcher. He goes by the Dark Knight. He now pitches for the Cincinnati Reds. He recently got mad at the coach because they wanted to send him down for assignment,
Julian Edelman's Eskimo brother.
and he told him no.
Matt Harvey, boy.
Oh,
Matt
yeah,
Harvey
okay.
Matt Harvey of the Cincinnati Reds now.
turned down a DFA, designated for assignment, because he said,
Yeah,
I am a
no.
starter.
I ain't going no farm system.
But he took the bullpen assignment, and then his first bullpen assignment, he gave up 4 runs. And it's like, nah, bro, you got to go. Especially after another report came out that he was out kicking it in LA this
yeah.
time,
Mm-hmm.
still looking for Adriana Lima. I still think he's looking for Adriana Lima. You know what I thought you was gonna go with the Yankee note? They're the earliest team in baseball history to have 4 players with 10+ home runs. So
So
you got
we know Didi Gregorius.
Judge, Stanton, Gregorius, and who's the 4th player?
What's that? I can pronounce his name. Yes.
Oh, Andujar.
Yeah.
It is not Andujar. It is Andujar.
And then also you got
Andujar.
Gary Sanchez, who has 8.
Mm-hmm.
So Bombers 27-12, currently the best record against teams over 500. So they're beating the good teams. The pitching is great, not Astros level greats yet.
I'll explain that.
Okay, but Yanks are rolling, tied with the Sox in first place in the AL East. Let the I-95 hype beast carry on. BMO.
All right. Everybody loves, well, not nobody in this studio loves Fortnite. So, according to
This is Chris' account.
Yeah, according to David Price,
You hear this?
he has a mild case of carpal tunnel syndrome
I'll explain that.
from playing Fortnite
I know why.
In the clubhouse.
in the clubhouse,
Well,
by the
no,
way.
there's a rule about that. I found out
Okay.
something about that.
And so, reporter from the Boston Globe, at least, hey, is David Price, ailment linked to video gaming? They wrote the first paragraph simply the sentence of, the carpal tunnel syndrome. So, of course, he bashes David Price said, I haven't played a video game since the Miss Pac-Man machine was hauled out of Iron Horse at the Old Garden. But according to the report, Fortnite is an all-rage in the Red Sox clubhouse. So, he goes on to write, because he reports in there saying, let's say we get back at 11 p.m. from a game, they will play until 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m., or 2 a.m., depending on what time the game is the next day. But day games are off days, so they can put some time in. You can lose track of time whenever you're playing it. Of course, he said he has an Xbox, I got my own backpack for it, blah, blah, blah. But he's pretty much just saying, since David Price is hurt, from playing Fortnite, he's bashing, the Boston Red Sox and everything in general. Of course, maybe it just gets to that point where, he is playing it a little bit too damn much to get carpal tunnel. I mean, you're pitching you got like a 5.11 ERA. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really having, a good season as it is. Hendo, your quick thoughts about David Price and Fortnite?
Well, the whole thing on the Fortnite thing is interesting because we've had this before about 7 years ago when Joel Zamaya and Guitar Hero.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's worse, dog, because he had to have Tommy John surgery for trying to play the strokes on expert.
So that's a peripheral though.
But the thing is this, what I've learned from this is this. The Rangers have a certain thing about that clubhouse. So I do know for sure that Ronald DeShields is a huge FIFA player. He plays FIFA in his locker. If you go around certain places like this, Tim Lincecum is a big FIFA guy. Some play MLB The Show. But the thing is this, they are banned from playing shooters. Because you got to hold down buttons to aim. A lot of those guys, because they've had ailments before. It's a strange thing, but then I see a story of the San Diego Padres. They're sitting out there behind home plate playing on the big screen. playing for them.
I saw that.
So I think it's kind of a weird thing. I get it because their tools are their hands and their feet and their fingers. That's their tools. So I can kind of see that. I don't think MLB teams are going to get like to the point where you can't play video games, but the 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning kind of thing is kind of weird. But David Price says it wasn't that. But what they did was they kind of tested him. They said, "What are you doing in your fingers?" Because the issue was his fingers. And they said, "Well, what are you doing playing Fortnite?" And someone said, "Well, in Fortnite, you aim with your left hand, so you're holding down a button. That's called a stress reaction. When you're holding down something. And if you're playing on a certain system, the triggers are bad."
Yeah.
So that would be on that. But then just one last thing, I got a quick baseball thing for you guys real quick. I know we got to go. So the Houston Astros are on pace to make history as a pitching staff. So right now, WAR wins above replacement. They're currently right now, they have a 29 WAR. And what that means of significance is this. There's only 3 teams in history that even come close to 26. Anybody want to name those pitching staffs? One is kind of obvious because we all looked down.
All right, who's that?
So that would be the Braves in 96, 97, with the big 3.
Do they go back to one of those Orioles teams from the 60s and the
No,
70s?
so they weren't. They only had a 23. Okay. So the one team that surprised me that was on this list, well, it shouldn't surprise me, but the Phillies in 2011 with Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, Cole Hamels, and Kyle Kendrick. And the other team the aforementioned Chicago Cubs of Fergie Jackson, Joe Decker, and those guys.
Okay, very good.
So right now they're on pace to do that, and also Josh Hader, the Milwaukee Brewers, is on. He has a record right now on pace to where he can lead the league in strikeouts as being a reliever.
Yeah, young lefty too.
Yeah.
So check him out.
Leading the league in strikeouts. And keep that in mind.
Let's take a break. When we come back, BMO will have it. Speaking of history, BMO will have an update on Rafael Palmeiro, and we will jump into the history lessons of the day. Mo Sports Talk on the afterparty.com.